I'll send you the live call-in notes, and then bam, we're live. And then Greg. I'll send you the live call-in notes. Hey, dude, are the people where you were deployed scrambling right now?
I don't know. It's a couple rotations after I was there, but I imagine they're very busy.
They are very busy
Yeah,
because of
probably.
what's happening.
The
And
proximity is close.
they're on. They have like some sort of. They're on some sort of alert.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there are a lot of resources that can be utilized there. So I think that they're probably either on alert or I know that I've seen some videos, some places where they're taking supplies to them already. They're like dropping off some big cargo planes worth of weapons and stuff to the Israeli uh,
You
military.
you've seen evidence of that already.
Oh yeah, I mean, on also they're moving a lot of the naval boats or ships or whatever you want to call them into that area too. So
Hey, when I hear that they moved an aircraft carrier and it's supporting ships that have over 5,000 troops on them combined and it's the largest aircraft carrier in the world, is that fair to say that we've deployed 5,000 troops to the scene? What is it? Oh, because they're in the water. We're not saying they're deployed. It gives you kind of like some wiggle room with your vernacular.
yeah, well, and I think those
Is
when
David Weed a Jew?
I
That
don't
would
know,
be amazing.
that'd be hilarious.
God, that would be amazing. Go on.
I don't. Well, the thing is, I think from a naval standpoint, if you're on a boat, you're deployed. So wherever you go is part of that deployment, I guess. So I
Uh-huh.
think technically you could say that, but they were deployed to to an area of responsibility, not necessarily deployed to Israel. You know what I mean? Like different carrier groups have different areas of responsibility throughout the world. So this carrier group just so happens to have responsibility within like the Mediterranean and um, kind of like the Middle East, Eastern Europe section.
If we sent 5,000 Marines, let's say, to the Lebanon, okay, here, I won't even use a hypothetical. There's UN troops on the ground there.
Okay.
The UN has troops in in that region, peacekeeping troops. I think specifically at the Lebanese Israeli border. Those troops have been deployed to that region, right? Is that the
Okay.
right vernacular? Is that
Yeah.
so? Brandon Lecoq is saying they're deployed. So those troops are deployed. Okay, so at least you could say they're deployed to the Mediterranean and to a closer proximity.
Correct.
And I've heard that though that boat has weapons, basically guns with bullets that are so fucking gigantic that they're the size of a Volkswagen Bug, and it can shoot them from like 15 miles away, like over the horizon line. Like
Yeah.
you won't even see the boat shoot it.
Right. Yeah. They can do that for sure. They don't even have to be like they don't even have to see the target. They just have to know on a map, like GPS coordinates kind of thing, where to throw it.
Another thing I keep hearing is that the Palestinians are stuck. So when I was in college, my dad came and saw me. I was like, fucking running around town naked, and he's like, "Hey, dude, what the fuck's going on with you?" He drove like 5 hours south. I'm like, "I don't know, I'm just having fun. I'm partying." One of the things I said to him is, I said, "I wish there was something in my life that I was so passionate about, like Jesus was, that I'm willing to die for it." That's what I said to my dad. I use Jesus as the example. And my dad said to me, "What about having something you're so passionate about in your life that you're willing to live for?" And that kind of changed the trajectory of my whole life when he said that. Now
Okay.
my dad's in Armenia, and he's like, basically, I talked to him on the phone the other day, and he's like, "Listen, I'm not coming home. I'm gonna stay here and fight off these fucking Azerbaijanis if I have to."
Really?
I go, "Hey, dude, do you remember what you have fucking 3 grandkids here, 6 grandkids, 3 of my sisters, 3 of mine. Remember what you told me in college? Like, you got some shit to live for over here. What do you mean you're gonna die over there?" And I'm thinking, so I said to myself, I was thinking, hey, if I'm Palestinian, I'm out. My country is basically it's a hiding ground. It's a breeding ground for these Hamas fighters. Iran is using us. Everyone's using us. This piece of land is not even really a country. It's just a staging ground for war. So if I'm Palestinian, I'm like, fuck it. I'm taking my kids. I'm leaving. And oh, okay, yeah. So zoom in there for a second. Show me some shit. Tell me show me some stuff. That body of water right there. Okay, go ahead.
This one right here.
No. By the Jordan, but go ahead. Okay,
the
so
Dead
where's
Sea and all that?
So what's the Gaza Strips? So the Gaza Strip is completely surrounded by Israel?
Correct.
Okay, so those people can't get in and out of their land.
Right.
Who gave them that land? What's to the south of them there? What borders to the south of them there where it says Highway 40?
Is that part of Egypt, I think? I think that's part of Egypt. This right
So
here?
does the Gaza Strip border with Egypt? Can they leave out through Egypt?
Yes, it does. They could.
So one of the things I heard is that Palestinians are fucked because they're stuck in there and they can't travel in and out of Palestine without the approval of Israel. And yet then I Googled it and it said 100,000 of the 2 million people there work in Israel and commute back and forth every day, which would be 1 in 20 people, which means that there's massive commuting going on.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
I know this is going to sound like just such a dick move, but if I'm Israel, I take that land back. I go house by house and I push all those people out of there once and for all. You can't have those people there if there's going to be fighting there. You can't have a neighbor inside your country that's trying to fuck with you. I guess that's the same thing that's going on in Armenia. Oh, there it is down there. That's a great map. Okay. So all that fighting has been going on there?
In the Gaza Strip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a mess.
It's pretty gnarly.
I'm out. I'm sorry. I know it's easy for me to say, but I'm out. Hey, dude, there's people fleeing California because they don't want to be around people who chop off little boys' penises. And I'm telling you, California is better than the Gaza Strip.
Absolutely.
If Jesus could redo his story, he'd do that shit over here.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good example of like actual hatred. Like so much hatred that you're willing to invade another country and kill everybody, anybody.
What a mess.
It's pretty dramatic.
There was a whole thing. Let me see if I can find it. Oh. I guess I'll show this when Greg's on. I got some pictures of the aircraft carrier. There was a lady I saw this Israeli history. Oh, look at 167. Pull up 167. Check out 167. This was interesting. This is kind of long, but I don't care. Fuck it. Let's do it. Oh, Heidi says, no, Sevan, that's the point. Jesus goes to the most undesired location and safe. Well, he should have gone to Antarctica. Shit is fucked up over there. Okay, listen to these guys. Now, these guys look like Jews, so maybe their shit's a little biased. But let's hear.
The fundamental narrative about Israel essentially is that as a compensation for the Holocaust, the Jews were given a piece of someone else's land in the Middle East where they've settled. And now there is a battle over that piece of land because of that original sin, if you like, which is a viewpoint that, frankly, up until I started listening to some of your talks, it was unshakable in my understanding. Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about it.
That's the default narrative.
Yeah. So, in what way is that not the case, Melanie?
Every single thing that you just said is untrue.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your conversations,
that'll make him happy.
Obviously, it's a big subject, but the idea that the Jews had no connection to the land of Israel until a guilt-ridden West took them out as a remnant of the Holocaust and stuck them into someone else's country is the opposite of the truth.
So what is the truth?
The
on that
Jews are
issue?
the only people for whom the land of Israel was ever their national kingdom, hundreds and hundreds of years before Islam was even invented and before the Arabs invaded. The Jews were the original nation upon which America and Britain, in a kind of mystical fashion in Britain, modeled themselves. Why do I say that? They were a nation because they were a people in a particular area of land which they governed according to laws they made and which they defended. Now, they were a nation for several hundred years under various kings. And then they were basically kicked out, and then they returned, then they kicked out again. And then that land of Israel was occupied by vast numbers of different civilizations. The Romans, the Assyrians, the Arabs, various sorts of Muslims, Christians, Crusaders, and for a long period, the Ottoman Turks, who were Muslim but not Arab. And then we get to the turn of the last century, and there grew up in Britain, mainly as a result of evangelical Christianity, a movement to return the Jews to their ancestral homeland. And these people were called Christian Zionists. And the kind of apogee of Christian Zionism in political terms was the Balfour Declaration in 1917. It was a cabinet which was dominated by Christian Zionists, and they believed that it was their duty to help the Jews return, to restore.
All right. Greg, what's up, dude?
Buddy, how are you?
Good. So those guys have been there forever.
Definitely.
What, the Jews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. Go ahead.
What do you think they were in Brooklyn?
Yeah, exactly. That's what kind of dipshit I am. I believe the narrative that the guy started it with, that was just like the United States and Britain's way of like, all right, we got these Jews. What are we going to do with them? We're going to give them this little piece of land. Here, take it. And it fucked other people. But then when you go back and you just scratch the surface just a little bit, you're like, hey, that was always their home.
My Southern Baptist family prays for the Jews anytime there's a conflict, because the Old Testament says that they are the chosen people. These are the people of Abraham. And that's, it's a fact.
Hey, if you're Palestinian, do you leave at this point? You're like, hey, I was thinking, like, if you're Palestinian, are you like, holy fuck, the Iranians have taken our homeland and turned it into a staging ground for war. It's time to pack up and get to California. I got to go to the United States.
Of the 2-point-something million there, 285,000 have left in the past 5 years.
Okay, so 10% of the population has already left.
Yeah, and the Hamas leadership is vile.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely vile. This striking a deal with them makes as much sense as if they had set up a deal with the Uvalde shooter, instead of killing his ass, gave him 4 classrooms and 20 students.
Right. That's an interesting
comparison. For me, it's about that simple.
Hey, yeah, they can come to California. All the Palestinians I know are great people. They're like Armenians. They just want to fucking put their head down and work. All the ones I know. Here, we got a handful of them in Santa Cruz that are amazing. Run liquor stores and a lot of the beach markets. They're great people.
I've not met a culture or race that I find objectionable. I don't know what that would look like, really.
Right. I can think of some cultures that I don't like. Ghetto culture. I don't like that culture I see like in Oakland. I don't like fentanyl culture. I know that's a little different than a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, pick your stereotype for what's wrong.
Yeah.
In the Black community.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is ignore the Black doctors, lawyers, dentists, accountants, clerks, school teachers, principals, cops, firemen, construction company owners. I mean, there's a
along
look
that.
on CNN. On CNN, if you don't speak Ebonics and if you're not aggrieved, you're not a black person.
Right.
Because Joe Biden has the gall to say that if you don't support him, you're not black.
Right.
And so there's an entire cast of characters, brilliant, amazing men that you never get to hear them speak. Not on mainstream media.
And you know what else is interesting too? Like, I'm not really fond of a Jew or Armenian LA culture. Like, Armenians outside of LA are some of the greatest people I know. Armenians in LA are like, I'm like, geez, what happened to you? So some of it, like it's geographic. Same with Jews. All the Jews I know outside of LA are awesome and pleasant. So at some point, I'm just like, well, fuck, it's not Jews or Armenians. It's fucking Los Angeles culture.
I've met too many Jews and Armenians in LA that I have just hold in the highest regard.
All right.
But I do the same thing with the Mormons too. Like, I've got a long list of Mormons that I just love to death.
Right.
And people can hate on them all they want. It's not consistent with what I've seen.
Hey, dude, is that aircraft carrier they deployed to the Mediterranean? I guess Caleb was helping clarify for me a little bit that it's not that we were trying to figure out if it's really been deployed to the Mediterranean. I was trying to understand the vernacular, and if I understood Caleb right, he's like, well, that is their turf, right? So if something goes down, that's the aircraft carrier that goes over there. Anyway, I was trying to figure out, like, can we say that we've deployed 5,000 men to that area now? And also, are there SEALs and Delta Force on that boat? Like, is that a really bad sign for anyone? All bad guys over there?
You know, who steps in next and with what? What do we do when Iran launches 1,000 effective missiles on Israel? What happens then?
That's the boat? Jesus Christ.
Just one of them.
And my thought is that Israel needs to declare war on not just Hamas, but on Iran. On Iran. Someone had asked me what I'd do. I said, were I Bibi Netanyahu, now let's just look. No one's ever going to put me in charge of a country, right? So don't worry. Don't get your panties in a bunch.
I know 183 people who would vote for you.
And I am hawkish by my very nature. But I told Jimmy and Emily in a text that were I Bibi Netanyahu, I would destroy Iran's capacity to produce oil and eliminate their Navy and Air Force and encourage their army to mount a coup or be next.
Oh. So just do some of the periphery work and then let there be cause a civil war there.
I'd take them out of the oil business permanently, and I would get rid of or at least until there was an opportunity to rebuild that we sanctioned, and I would get rid of their Navy and their Air Force. And I understand that if you sink a Navy and cripple an Air Force, that who's ever in charge of the ground forces finds that extremely illuminating, and let the Army take it to the moons. But you know what? The Iranians deserve a better leadership. The Persians are a wonderful, proud, and amazing people, and they desperately. This is a perfect opportunity. We could solve this nuclear problem too at the same time. Tell the general in the army that, hey, you're going to be the guy. We're going to have a military leadership. We're going to dismantle your nuclear program, and we're going to help you back into the oil business again. And you're going to be a wealthy, proud people, and you'll have elections in 2 years.
I think we tried that, and then
the election thing? Yeah,
we tried to. I think we attempted to make it a democratic nation, probably in the 80s or the 70s, and it just the tribal.
That's what happened.
Factions.
That's what happened to Reza Pahlavi, to the Shah,
right?
Who he wanted to develop a petrochemical industry, and so he could develop a full functional economy before the oil was gone. And they had some growing pains, but this was also the period of, it was Jean Kirkpatrick's Dictatorships and Double Standards. And she says they go from a totalitarian to an authoritarian to a democratic regime historically takes 500 to 800 years. And then if you force the process on authoritarians, you end up with totalitarians. Are we better off without Saddam Hussein? No. Would you agree? I mean,
Right.
No, I don't think so either.
Hey,
It's the Hydra thing. As soon as you cut off one head, another tribal leader is going to come out and they're going to try to do the same thing. Now you got 1,000 people and from 1,000 Palestinians who got together and said, "Yeah, let's fuck up Israel." Like it's just one thing after another. It's the same ideology essentially.
yeah, I would treat Hamas as agents of Iran, and I would punish Iran, and I would slaughter every card-carrying member of Hamas, all of them, hunt them down and kill them. Much like I would a school shooter. These are school shooters.
Yeah.
It's a school shooter culture.
Wow. Greg, yesterday I ran into our friend who 6'5", wealthy Nigerian.
Yes. Yeah.
He has a daughter who has a full ride scholarship to Columbia. Another daughter has a full ride to Stanford. He's a Nigerian immigrant, blacker than the bottom of my screen there. Great dude. Very good friend of both mine and Greg. I hung out with him at the coffee shop yesterday, and he said, "Hey, dude, don't be fucking fooled. This is just another money laundering operation. There's no this is all planned at some level." Do you agree with that?
What's going on in Israel?
Yeah, that it's basically just another on the big level. It's just moving money around again.
We just released
buying weapons, selling weapons, just moving money around.
I mean, we just released $6 billion to Iran in assets. We just unfroze $6 billion in assets to them.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they're the ones supplying a lot of this stuff to the Palestinians.
And the rockets to Hezbollah in the north.
Oh, look at this. Speaking of fucking wackadoodles. Jay Wade, any thoughts on Andy Stumpf and Craig Patterson podcast? Look forward each week to listening to both of your insights. Great. Get your booster. I can't believe Craig Patterson's still alive.
It'd be fun to talk to Andy. You could recount some good times, you know.
Andy,
when I hired a real pilot and he sabotaged the airplane. You were there for that.
I was there for that.
Or when he used my credit card and bought whatever.
Dildo, we captured Saddam and bin Laden after they were hiding in holes. We realized there will always be someone else to take down. It will never end. Tom Satterley, a Mogadishu veteran.
Yeah, what you do is that, what's the line? He's a son of a bitch, but he's our son of a bitch.
Right.
You know, and you decapitate, and the new guy's like, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing except fuck with him. I know how I got here, right? The last guy got sideways with the U.S. and they cut his head off, and now I'm the new guy. I don't think I want to be sideways with the U.S. I'll do everything else. I'll be just the same except for that. And that's an improvement for us and provides security.
Hey, if they start showing those executions publicly, that's like going to be a bad PR move, right?
The numbers on this was 8-fold on a per capita basis. The damage inflicted on Israel in terms of head count is 8-fold our 9/11.
Say that one more time.
8x 9/11 on a per capita basis.
Oh. And the stories pouring out of there on social media are kind of crazy. The media coming out of this is absolutely nuts. What do you think about that? Also, it's like someone said, "Hey, the Ukrainian war's been going on a year, and we've already seen more images from Israel than we've seen the entire Ukrainian war." I mean, the social media shit coming out on Israel is nuts. That's the kind of stuff that gets my brain thinking, like, okay, is this planned? I mean, literally, they're showing the gunfights. They're showing the Palestinians walking into the kibbutzes and killing people, start lighting their homes on fire, eating the food out of their fridge, all that shit.
Yeah, let's don't lump them all together. This is Hamas, and what Hamas guys are doing.
Thank you, Hamas.
They've come into houses, and slaughtered the people there
Yeah.
and filmed it with their iPhones and put it on their social media for their family to see. Where's my
Right.
grandma? They just killed her. I know because I saw it on her Facebook page.
Right.
I've heard they've been like taking people's phones and texting their loved ones from the person. Like after they've captured a person, they'll take their phone and like text their loved ones like, "We have your sister" or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And posting images of the dead bodies on the Facebook page belonging to the victim.
Yeah.
Fiona H. Oh my God, delete that person from your life, Sevan, who said money laundering. That's so disgusting. Hey man, 40 children had their heads cut off. Money laundering. Oh my God, what a delusional person. I don't agree with you at all. It can be both. You can do all of those. It's to incite a situation where money laundering is easy to do. There's crazy people out there, man.
I don't think money laundering is the right term somehow, but I did meet someone in this vein. I met a Croatian who said that every time Americans need have a skilled or semi-skilled labor shortage, a major war breaks out somewhere in the world. And you know, look, I do know that the people at Raytheon, TRW, Grumman, Teledyne, Boeing, I know these are boom times for them. And they're getting to sell and test equipment. And, I have mixed feelings on that. I would probably be willing to test a lot of things. That new missile that the Brits gave to the Ukrainians that dropped the building where the meeting was going on, that worked better than anyone thought it would. The British are really impressed, very much surprised. Test this shit out on these scumbags.
Heidi Kroom, please, Heidi, don't incite violence. Bottle what? Vittorio, anyone who thinks money isn't exchanged in a time of conflict is naive. Hey, racism has been like this huge subject. I mean, I guess for our whole forever. Yeah, I don't know, my whole life. But look at this. I've never seen anything like this. Look at this. This is in Australia at the Opera House. And they're chanting, "Gas the Jews and fuck the Jews." And so I started putting other people's. I've never seen anything have you ever seen anything like this in the United States? Fuck the Armenians, fuck the Chinese, fuck the blacks. This is crazy. A gathering of people that's chanting "Gas the Jews." You ever seen anything like that, Greg? In the States?
No. I think they were doing that in New York too.
Yeah, getting together and chanting "gas" a group of people. Oh, sorry, Vittorio, BLM did that all summer. My bad. They didn't just do it; they burnt down. They burnt down cities. Caved Astro showing a little empathy. Sevi, this is all they've been taught. Fair enough. I hear you.
And what does that mean? Is that
meaning I was raised to resent Turkey and to think that they're horrible people because of what happened, the genocide. You know what I mean? And so you're born in the Middle East and you're an Arab, and so from day one you're basically taught that the Jews are bad people, and it becomes a part of your identity. Just like I'm Sevan and my birthday's March 16th and I CrossFit. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like it would be crazy if I found out that it was actually the Armenians who killed the Turks. But we've seen history say crazier shit, flip the script on crazier shit. So I think that's what they mean. It's all they know, right? It's not justification, it's an observation.
This reminds me of after the school shootings. Mm-hmm. They'll say, this is the kid that did it. This is how old he is. will put his picture up, and then CNN was giving them a ranking, like third worst, fourth worst. Didn't come close to the record, but he's in fourth of the place. And so you've made some pathetic piece of shit into a hero. You've turned it into a sport. And they say, but we don't know the motive yet. And I've had to explain to my kids a bunch of times on this trip that there are acts for which a motive doesn't make sense. It's not within the realm of rational thought. And so at the point you go, oh wow, now I get it. Oh, okay, that's why you crept into the window at night and slit the woman's throat that you don't even know. You won't find understanding until you're also evil.
Right.
And I'm not in the least bit religious, but I just lump all that shit into evil. I don't really care about these clitorectomizing. You know, women are unholy in the sight of the Lord. That's why their heads are covered. Do we really care about women's rights, or is that a game? We're pretending, or do we care? If you think women really matter, if you think I'm in the Amalfi Coast. Left Rome this morning early. Went to Pompeii, and that's a trip. And then drove from there to here, and got online. I don't think we arrived here 30 minutes ago.
I don't even know where that is. What country is that?
Italy.
What's it called? The Maltese Coast, like the Maltese Falcon?
No, Amalfi. Amalfi. Check it out. Pull up images. There are places you can pull your car over and jump, and you might fall 2,000 feet into the water. And just stunning.
Oh my goodness! It's like you're in a Bond movie.
Very much so. Very good. Yeah.
Wow. That's where you're going to stay for the next week, Amalfi?
3 days.
Wow.
Pull up some of the coastal images.
This is nuts, dude.
Yeah, the view is like nothing I've ever seen coming in.
Hey, was part of you like, hey, I'm going home. Like, if this war is going to be here and they're going to start fucking grabbing Americans, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no.
We're not there yet.
But I'm eager for Israel to have what mainstream media is going to call an overreaction.
I did hear Netanyahu, one of his generals, was saying that this will be the largest military move that Israel's ever made.
Good.
It does put some pretty crazy into. So are you? If I'm looking at this picture right here, are you in that picture somewhere?
Yeah, could be.
So what is it? It's like Catalina, but nice, but not white trash.
Yeah. Other than driving here and setting up at the table, I've seen nothing. But the view coming in was incredible. Spectacular terraced hills of olive trees and grapevines, and it's like you're a half mile up when you're a quarter mile from the ocean.
Matt Burns, my mom basically told me the same thing yesterday. She put her hand on her head and she goes, "Oh man, you really don't want to fuck with the Jews." Matt Burns, the Jews don't fuck around. Netanyahu is special forces, tip of the spear. A friend of mine read his autobiography recently and said that, hey, his whole thing is like, hey, my only mission in life is to protect Israel from Iran. And recently I was chatting with that friend, and he said, hey, he's going to make this his legacy. What we're about to see, he's going to make this next move his legacy move.
No matter what he does, this is his legacy. And he's the hawk. Not the most hawkish, but he's on that hawk side of things for sure. And his operating assumption of his cabinet, as I understand, was that nobody wanted this.
Uh-huh.
That neither side wanted this, and so that it wouldn't happen. And it has. They're there. I see it as the biggest story as 9/11.
What about Iran and Russia? What's their thing? What's their deal? Their relationship?
It's one of convenience. I mean, how tight were the Italians and the Japanese? Probably not too tight.
You mean in World War II?
Yeah. And I think Russia has proven itself to be fundamentally toothless in its struggles with Ukraine. There's not a NATO country that couldn't take from them destroy every bit of weaponry they have in a matter of hours.
On a side note, a man with a guitar. I just arrived. Quick question, Greg. I booked my L1 in the United Kingdom. Any tips before I go in November?
Yeah, they send you materials. I would look at it. The study guide. Spend some time with that. Would be my tip.
I'm taking mine with my dad in January.
Oh, that's super cool. Where?
In Omaha, CrossFit Hydro.
Super cool. Bless you,
Yeah.
Thank you. When you're walking through when you're going from Croatia to Italy, are there any signs that the world's in turmoil, that something happened, like different vibe traveling than in the beginning or anything? Any
No.
noticeable newspapers,
No.
anything? Tanks
I
at the
haven't seen
airport,
anything
anything
like
weird?
that.
Okay.
But we're not. I'm not as glued to news sources as I would be normally.
Caleb, I'll be there in Omaha, brother. Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. I think he was there when I took my first L1 at CrossFit Omaha like 7-8 years ago. So that'll be cool.
Hey, Joey.
People weighing in on the sneeze. When Sevi sneezes, a baby is born. Not the noise I thought Sevi sneeze would make. More or less masculine. Hey, so but on that carrier are some pipe hitters, right? SEALs, Delta Force, guys like that.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
If not, they could be put there quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
And there's concern that these Hezbollah guys at the Lebanese border who kind of basically control that portion of Lebanon, not kind of do, that they're going to see an opportunity to strike Israel too now.
I would give them, I would incentivize them by what I did to Hamas to think twice.
Sean Lenderman.
So if Iran launches some kind of devastating attack from Iran on Israel, I think it would be perfectly appropriate for them to nuke them.
To nuke Iran.
Yes.
Are there nukes in that region?
Israel has them.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Threaten their existence, and it would be irresponsible for them not to use them.
Can I see the map again, Caleb? How does that work? Just superficially, it just launches right out of their off a piece of land in Israel and just flies over there and just hits them. That's it. It's like that, or drops out of a plane.
I know nothing about their program, but I understand they now have missile capability, nuclear missile capability. They're technologically advanced.
They could shoot out of a sub in the middle of the Mediterranean.
You think that's what they would do, Caleb?
Sure. That way you're not endangering anybody within Israel, I suppose, and the fallout probably.
Show me Iran. How far is it?
That's all they are here.
Oi. Oh, you fire it flies over Iraq. It can do that?
Probably. I think intercontinental ballistic missiles could reach that far. So if you launched, like in the United States, I think you can launch one from at least from Alaska, and make it to Russia, like mainland Russia.
I think we can hit anywhere in the world from Vandenberg,
You're
amongst
probably
other
right.
places.
Yep.
Hey, did two of the things that I heard that were complicating the situation for the United States was the fact that, one, we don't have a Speaker of the House, and two, that the United States doesn't have an ambassador in Israel. Is that weird that we don't have an ambassador in Israel? Did Biden never appoint one, or have you heard, anyone know the story on that?
No idea.
I don't know.
Hey, and we don't even really have a functioning president. I wonder who makes the calls for the United States. I mean, he sleeps in till 10 a.m. He goes to bed at 8. I'm not joking. I mean, it's like
There were two fantastic articles in National Review this morning, and let me go to that.
Bryson.
Online.
Bryson Del Monte. Sevi, I got a buddy who blows Andy Stumpf. Oh, that's cool. And can explain the beef with him really quick and why he's a puss. Oh, all right. Well, thank you for the money.
A friend of mine who's a SEAL said, when all the SEALs hate you, it's always for a reason.
Oh.
And I found that easy to see, both the truth of it and that he's hated by team guys. I know a guy who knocked him out and was told, if you ever do anything like that again, you're going to be thrown out of the Navy, and he knocked him out again, like shortly thereafter, and stayed in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
So, Michael, today in National Review, for Israelis, this wasn't 9/11, it was worse, by Michael Rosen. Israel will never be the same. And the other one was It's Time to Sober Up by Noah Rothman. And I thought they were both perfectly lucid deals. For me, seriously, this isn't much difference than a school shooter. I would respond, and then we could all talk about motives and whether I overreacted and all that shit later. I don't think it matters. Have you seen the images of what they're doing with the women they're parading around?
Yeah, it's brutal. Shit, that I don't want my mom to see that stuff. I'm seeing all over social media, they're showing all the young girls too that they've got or that are missing. And like what Caleb said, their families and friends getting text messages from their phone being like, hey, we got your friend, we got your sister, we got your daughter. They're showing, they showed a family that was slaughtered, and then they found 2 babies in the house that the parents had hidden, that the Hamas dudes didn't find. So it's fucking crazy. It's all just. I felt like this wave. I wonder if you're gonna hate me for saying this, Greg, but I want this wave, or irritated. This wave of, after 9/11 happened, this wave of unconsciousness swept over the United States. Like we turned into like one bad thing. Like,
look,
like
let me tell you
something negative happened to
to
the country. Okay.
Here's the end point. Mommy has a dick and daddy's trying to get pregnant.
Right.
That's what all of this sums to. And if you think there's something absurd in that, impossible or immoral, then you're some kind of mentally ill hater.
What's the relation to that and what's going on over in Israel with the Hamas?
It's the ideology of the left.
Mm.
It's wholly destructive of everything we hold dear.
Kill anyone that disagrees with you. Basically, like the Democrats or the socialists, just like they wanted to do to us in with COVID-19, like the stuff that Hollywood and politicians were saying.
They think Republicans are the greatest threat to the world, and to think that, you have to ignore this. And I think that point, it was Noah Robinson. Not Robinson. The National Review guy was telling me about. I'll pull it up again. I mean, it's a great point. At any rate, this isn't a deep issue for me. It's not a complicated issue for me, you know? And I don't think the choices are that hard. I think that the Israelis are going to kill every single Hamas kind of person they could. Hey, what did we do to people that were wearing the Nazi uniform?
Kill them all.
Kill every single one you fucking can, and the ones you catch, you hang them.
Right.
And then move on. Let's get on with it. And you could, and then what, there's going to be a response to that? More of the same? Then do it to those people too. What I see right now is worst case scenario.
Hey, if one nuke goes off, wouldn't that mean that multiple nukes might start going off? Someone else might feel cavalier enough to launch one. Does that scare you at all? The chance of like just a full-blown World War III?
Yeah.
Turning huge chunks of the planet into uninhabitable land?
I'd rather go that way than have Hamas in Canada and dealing with this, you know?
Right. Okay.
Are we ready for the global caliphate?
Jethro Cardona, a terrorist attacking our partner in the Middle East, and we're here eradicating COVID and stopping global warming. I know every time I see this crazy shit, I just keep writing on social media, but I need to know if they were vaccinated and what color they are and what their sexual orientation is. We live with idiots. We are idiots. And then here's the thing that Heidi's saying too, and it's like one of my friends was trying to talk sense to me the other day. War is inevitable. And it's like, yeah, hey, dude, we're not peaceful creatures by nature. There's going to be war. Man. Caleb was over there in that part of the country. I was asking him what he thought if those people were scrambling. He said, well, definitely they're on high alert. Some people in the comments were saying that special forces have always been there, that they're there, not deployed there. They're just there.
That is true.
I got to be careful what I say, but I know that to be a fact.
Yeah.
We've had.
Someone was saying we've already started operations. We've already started trying to go get hostages. You think that's true too?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. We've had spec ops guys killed working alongside Israelis, and their family was told they were killed in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Ah, okay.
That's a lot of stars on this wall in CIA are blank.
Right.
What does that mean? That went over my head. What does that mean?
There's a wall in the entrance of the main CIA building in Langley that they just have like black stars that they've carved into marble, and a lot of them don't have a name and don't say where they're from or where they died. I mean that's just a fact of war in general. You're not going to be known. It's not completely known exactly how you died or where you died or anything like that. You did.
There are heroes who have died fighting for this country, and their family never knew them as other than representatives for a shoe manufacturer traveling the world selling moccasins, when indeed that wasn't what was going on. Wife didn't know.
Jay Hartle, some U.S. hostages and definitely going to get them. Doodley Rando, yes, U.S. have tons of military law enforcement circulate through there for training.
you have those guys exactly for this.
Right.
And my only doubt as to whether you use them or not is the fact of a Biden presidency.
Mm. You're not joking. You mean that. He's just so much of a pussy. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's not that he's a pussy. It's that he's seriously compromised cognitively and in terms of what either Ukrainians or Chinese have on him. You think the Chinese don't have all the proof that could possibly be needed to show that the Biden family is a criminal enterprise that's been being paid by them for years? They only pay him for years in case he became president.
Wow. Holy shit.
He's run. How many times has he run for president, Caleb? 4 or 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Since he's been a perennial candidate. What's it cost to throw him a few mil?
Just in case.
Just in case.
Blaine McConnell, there are non-government related forces who have been deployed to the area to rescue hostages. Joe Biden, the current president of the United States, former vice president, former U.S. senator, and sought the presidency 4 times. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a horse. It's like he's been to the Kentucky Derby. He's a horse training who's had a horse in the Derby 6-7 times, give him some consideration. I'm anxious to see this unfold. And I hope Israel is condemned by all the usual suspects, from the New York Times to CNN. Fuck them.
It's weird to see that group start warmongering like the way they are, like to flip the script. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know they did the same thing in the Ukraine.
Gal writing for the New York Times. It was a male lead, and then there was a story all supported by or contributed to it. And I had to jump to the bottom and see who was involved in this. And the gal had what looked like a Arab name, and she needed to point out that there were 7,000 Americans who are serving in what they call them lone soldiers that are serving in Israeli Defense Forces. And the place in the story, it seems so odd and so dangerous to do, but it looks like you're making the justification for these innocent civilians and not being innocent civilians, that they're actually in the IDF, these Americans. But dude, we got people there on vacation that got caught up on this.
Yeah.
They won't let them leave either. All the airports are shut down. And
how is shooting up a concert in Israel less offensive than doing it to one in Las Vegas? Can it be justified? Go, oh shit, no, this Vegas, that was nuts. Those people didn't have that coming, but the ones in the kibbutz did. You know what this feels like for me? It's like, you've heard my line. If we ever have to go into town and have the debate on free speech and whoever wins the debate, you can have free speech or not, I'm going to go and do my best to debate, and I'm bringing my gun in case I lose the debate. I'm going to start shooting.
Right.
There's behaviors for which the only response is murderous revenge. This is one of them.
Jake Chapman, shall we move on to a topic we actually know shit about? Here's the thing, Jake. I hear what you're saying. Here's the thing. This is something that a lot of people don't want to think about and don't know how to think about. And so the relevancy of the conversation is to help people. Really, the biggest problem in society is people just don't know how to think, what to think. They need help thinking. They need direction. They need to hear other people talk about their thinking out loud. And that's what's going on here. So if you already know how to think about it, or if you're too sensitive to hear it, or if it's, you're
Well,
triggered
let me.
and you're going to put a gun in your mouth, go run around the island a little bit. Do a
I
workout.
I understand the sentiment there, Jake. I do for sure.
Me too.
But I just utterly dismiss it, and I understand it. Are the Israelis killing innocent women and children right now? For a fact, they are. Because what's happening is Hamas is launching attacks from schools and buildings full of innocent people, and to whom they're more collateral damage than the Israelis is Hamas. Hamas fires from this location not to protect, but to create the moral equivalency that would be missing otherwise. Is there any upside for Israel in killing men, women, and children? I mean, killing women and children? Absolutely none. Only downside. It's painful, and that comes out of their values. And there's a very practical sense of this turns the world against us. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? They blasted a mosque, right? Full of people with what? Guns.
This is just a video, kind of how close the Israelis are getting to women and children. This woman's just sitting she's in her house, and she's just taking a video of herself, kind of like explaining the situation. She's Palestinian. So here you go.
Okay. During war times, all the neighbors can just keep their doors open, so you can just enter your neighbor's house. It's okay. For my neighbors, they didn't evacuate as well. They have their windows down. Here are their windows. And here is the family. They're gathering all together, also in a place far away from the window. I was trying to explain things, but I think you can hear them now.
Yeah,
Hey.
I don't. Is that an atrocity? Not in the least.
No, but by the way, that's happening full time in Israel right now too. I watched yesterday. I was watching live footage, and they showed a reporter. It was Fox News, and the reporter had to get down. He was in Israel, downtown somewhere, and he had to get down low. He was in a city scene, and he had to get down, and rockets were coming in. So it's going both ways. I suspect that the Israelis are using a little more intelligence in their firing, but of course innocent people are going to be killed, shitloads of them. And I don't know what innocence means. At this point, you have to leave. You have to find a way out. At this point, you have to leave. I think I leave with my family. I don't stay. If I know Israel's firing rockets into Santa Cruz, I'm leaving. Sevan, they can't leave. Well, I'm going to try. I'm not going to stay. I'm not staying there. I'm not huddled in my living room with my family. I'm not doing that. I'm finding a way out. Would you leave, Greg, if you were there?
Fuck yeah.
Would you leave, Caleb?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything I left behind is replaceable, and I don't care about it.
Yeah, grab your kids and fucking go.
Yeah, my family's coming with. There's no question.
And if terrorists were mounting an attack on a country and from a school where my kids attended and they were killed, I would blame the people that launched the attack from the school, not those that fired back.
Great point. Great point.
And I think that the government's position will be, in fact, the defense minister said something to this effect, but the hostages are lost.
You're saying that basically the story is, for people who aren't following, the story is that Hamas went into Israel, grabbed 100 people, brought them of all ages and sexes, brought them across the border. And should Israel be worried about that when retaliating? And what you're saying, Greg, is like, fuck it. Those people are lost anyway. Full steam ahead.
If they're going to execute them, they're going to execute them. But I'm going to go door to door and kill everything that looks Hamas. Use my intelligence. Pretty soon, people in Palestine are going to start pointing to people. This one, this one, this one. Like when the Germans were getting chased out of France.
Right.
There's one, get him. You know, this guy, this guy, this guy. And they were being rounded up and shot, executed by sergeants. Fleeing Nazi.
And for those of you people who aren't following the story, yesterday, Israeli general came on TV and said, "Hey, we've sent text messages and we've leafleted, dropped leaflets all over Palestine telling you guys to leave. We're coming door to door and we're taking the city. We're taking the country." Basically, he basically said that. So that's what Greg's referencing. They're coming. They're going to go. They've already done it in the parts of Israel where the terrorists came in. They went door to door in Israel, and now they say that they're going to cross the border. And they're going to go door to door, and I have no doubt that they're going to clean out whole section. I think they're going to take Gaza and never return.
They have to.
Yeah, I think Gaza's done in our lifetime.
Experiment's over.
Yeah, it's over. I agree.
And you know what? There's some puke sitting there right now, painting shit on the walls, abusing these people, the hostages. And when word gets out, they're like, dude, they're creeping along and they're executing everyone. You know, you're going to show up with your hostages and go, here, I'll be a hero.
Israel
not everyone's ready to die, and the evidence for that is the effort and the nature and the kind of fucking twerps it takes to make a suicide bomber. Watch shows on that, on who they have to recruit, and their mental defects. These people aren't eager to die, and if they are, so what? I don't care. I'll help them, but I think you turn the tide by being tough.
Sean Lenderman, Israel already told Egypt they would bomb any vehicles evacuating or offering aid to Gaza.
Hey, they've cut off electricity, and they're saying there's not even enough. They're giving them just enough juice to, like, they can't really charge phones. They told, was it Mobil Oil, to shut down a platform that was providing fuel. No, this is the real deal. And what's so interesting for me is that there's going to be a unified Israeli response.
There's going to be a Israeli response? Say that again.
Unified. There's no faction. There's no party that's going to see this other than the way I do.
You mean all of Israel would be unified behind this? They're not going to have people out there with BLM flags protesting.
The hope for peace caused death of our innocent people. The hope for peace is resulted in death. That's the enemy you're dealing with. Again, I'll go back and be like giving the Uvalde, you want some Chick-fil-A and $1 million and 4 classrooms and a quarter of the school you can have. And what that it's going to be like? Everything's going to be good.
Right.
These kids are going to learn algebra and it's going to be nice.
Graciano Rubio requesting an economic portion at the next Broken Science initiative on how broken economic and monetary policy funds broken science and endless war. I know the perfect guy.
I like that. And can I make it just a kind of a jump here? Because I hit something today that I'm kind of dying to talk to you about.
Yeah. Let's do it. Jump to anywhere.
The whole crypto thing, I didn't understand it at all. And then I kind of been tripping on this Sam Bankman-Fried.
Oh, yeah, the guy in Panama who was fucking ugly girls? Yeah.
No, the guy behind the
kid.
The kid, that guy.
Yeah, he was in Panama having like orgies and shit, I think, and the girls were hideous. Okay. Sorry, that's the part of the story I like. All right, you tell your part you like about Bitcoin.
Well, I like this about it. I like that mom and dad are very well-known professors of law at Stanford. And his partner, this Caroline Ellison, that he's fucking and is facing 50 years in jail, and that's as a state's witness, right, for the prosecution. Both her parents are econ professors at MIT.
Wow.
And his so I got 4 academics talking about broken science, right?
What was her name? Caroline what?
Ellison. Caroline. Yeah. Look her up and look up mom and dad. and Ellison. See, because this is an unbelievable story. But Bankman Fried, I think it's Goldman Sachs is suing mom and dad, and they say this thing is right on the cusp of criminality because Joe Bankman, and forget the Fried's name. They've profited immensely from this thing, immensely. Got like a $30 million condo in the Bahamas or something. I don't know if I got all my facts right, but look it up.
The parents, yeah.
The parents,
Yeah.
and the dad was attending meetings with them as the thing was unraveling. He was trying to help.
Right.
The mom said, "We're partners in crime on this thing, but in a non-criminal sense." And so my point is that 2 econ professors from MIT and 2 law professors from Stanford have produced 2 kids that are responsible for the greatest fraud ever perpetrated, financial fraud in the history of the world. And
Dude,
of course they did. Of course they did. And they're all liberals too, by the way.
Of course. I mean, look at her.
Check out the thing on the Goldman Sachs suing him. This thing, it is such a fine line. See, for criminality, unless it's like one of these strict liability kind of laws that we see in analytical jurisprudence, the mens rea, something about what you knew matters, right?
Yeah. What's
But
that
in
called?
the civil-
Mens rea?
Yeah, I think I might be, because I'm talking about something I know nothing about. Have Dale Sarin come in, but I think that's the term. I've had this explained to me over and over again, and I never listen. But in the civil case, it's like whether they knew or not, and it sure seems like they did. They sure the fuck should have. And the parents are involved. Mom and dad are involved. He got bailed out to live with mom and dad's, and he started intimidating witnesses from mom and dad's.
Bankman did? Sammy?
Yeah, they let him go home to Palo Alto, and he set up a VPN, and then he started contacting witnesses. He released some of her private Google diary.
Wow.
He went on the warpath. So the judge threw his ass in jail, and he's been there since August. He's looking at 150 fucking years, dude. These 2 kids make Madoff look like a pickpocket.
Altogether, approximately $8 billion of FTX users' money landed in Alameda's coffers while Ellison was serving as the trading firm's head. So now she's going to testify against him here today or tomorrow?
Everyone
Sounds
is.
like
they all are. And it's cool because like even their tech guy, they're like, did you defraud? Yes, I totally did. I committed fraud. Did you know? Yes, I did. I mean,
can you imagine getting out on bail and then fucking up and getting thrown back in?
He said he set up the VPN just to watch football games. Can you imagine this thing hanging over your head? You have any fucking interest in football?
No. Man, dude, she looks like she fell out of the Crumb documentary. I can't even believe this is a real girl. They're both hit with the ugly stick.
They're both math kids that went to math camp and that kind of shit, right? And I'm a math guy, and so I'm bothered by that. They're math people, and damn,
she's uglier than olive oil. She's uglier than Popeye's girlfriend. She is hard to look at.
Bertrand Russell said that mathematics is the last refuge of the truly insane. And I love that. You can be entirely divorced from reality and be a mathematician because there's mathematics just has to be internally consistent, like Harry Potter. And by the way, she's a Harry Potter fan. Of course she is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She's a liberal. Of course they are. Harry Potter and liberalism, they very much remind me of each other.
Vittori, Sevi, you'd hit that. Yeah, I would, but I don't know why you're. Don't be a dick. Imagine the sex tape. She just oozes sex. I mean, it's just fetish material. It's crazy. She's a caricature. They both are. It's amazing.
Sevi would yank off her glasses, bust them in two, throw them away, and spin her around and wish she were 300 pounds.
Facts. No matter what.
You'd show him someone 600 pounds, and he's like, "Oh my God, look at that cheese! That's unbelievable. That's so sad. It's disgusting. Imagine having sex with that."
That just juxtapose those two thoughts.
I don't know if it's just to fuck with my head or what.
No, just free flowing thought. Eric, why Sevi would wear her glasses?
Then break them.
I saw a. Here, let me play this here real quick. Lighten the mood a little bit. A little Jewish humor. My last Jewish comedy.
These are heavy times. You know what we do is we got World War III brewing here.
I know, it's scary. Caved Astro, I like this, Greg. Oh, great. You like Greg talking about my fetishes? Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna start the show by telling you a story. A guy that goes to his rabbi and says, "Rabbi, you never believe what happened to me. My son left the house and became a Christian." The rabbi said, "Shh. You never believe what happened to me. My son left the house too and became a Christian. So what do? We pray to God." They prayed to God, and God said, "You never believe what happened to me."
It's good, right?
That's rich. Hey, I was in St. John the Baptist Cathedral in Rome. And he's a hero to the Muslims. He's the hero to the Jews, a hero to the Catholics, a hero to the Baptists, a hero to the Baha'i. I mean, this guy's like a top 3, top 5 in all major religions.
St. John.
St. John the Baptist.
Why? What did he do? What's his deal? Why do they all like him?
You know,
That's where you went, Greg? That's where you went? You saw those chairs like that and all that?
That doesn't even begin to do it justice.
Okay. But you stood there where that cameraman standing.
Yeah, I walked through it. I mean, I was humbled. There's very few people less religious than I am. But for anyone to and the humility, I mean, I just, what I know, I know Wikipedia on the guy, right?
Yeah.
But he appeared to be Elijah. They thought he was the Messiah. And he goes, "No, I'm not the Messiah." They go, "Well, then you're the guy that predicted the Messiah." And they, "No, I'm not that either." I mean, he makes no claims, but everything is claimed about him. And I kind of like people like that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. It was really interesting. He's a cousin of Jesus.
1st century BC. Interesting. The painting of him from 1540. He's yoked.
Yeah, I think the Romans were like 5'2" and weighed like 97 pounds, and all. So they make these. The statues are huge and burly and gnarly. And
Romans were little people?
I read the thing about the barbarian hordes. It was an account all derived from Romans and these Roman Praetorian Guard, whatever, the centurions are on the beach, and they're watching these Viking ships row ashore, and everyone's drunk and singing, and they're blonde and they're like 2 heads tall, and it takes 3 of them to kill one of them.
Yeah.
And they kill everyone that comes ashore, and they're like, "Okay, it's over." And then 2 more boats show up, same thing, and then 2 more boats, and then 2 more boats, and then 2 more boats, and this is going on for months. And then your confidence is shaken. Are there an infinite number of these fuckers? What motivates them? They've come here to die. That's hard to imagine. And it was unsettling as hell. It was tough psychologically.
Jake Chapman, I feel you, buddy. I hate being misunderstood, and so I totally understand what you're saying here. He says, Sevi, I spent hours over the last few days speaking with my physical therapist client, who is an Israeli Jew with many family members there. I'm far from buried my head in the sand. My comment was referring to some suggestions in the chat. I apologize for misunderstanding you, but regardless, I still like my answer. And just so you know, hi, what are you doing? Yeah, that's a nice top. Thank you. You guys, I love you guys in the comments. And even if I seem when I get wound up, I feel like I know you guys, and I love you guys, and I love the discourse. And it's just an opportunity to look at different facets and sides of the stone, of the diamond. So don't take it personal, but I also appreciate when you come back and help me clarify to understand your position. I hear you 100%. And thank you for the clarity. Thank you.
And I was sensing that with Jake too. Like, I get where you're coming from.
A couple soldiers have already from the front lines there who are Israeli, who have crazy names I can't even pronounce, have already contacted me and said that they'll keep me up to speed on anything they see and I've sent them my phone numbers through WhatsApp. And some people here on the ground who are ex-military have contacted me and saying that they are trying to get involved and head over there right away, which is kind of crazy. What kind of person does it take to do that? I have no interest in going.
Oh, I would think that a good chunk of our friends from the elite U.S. end of things would love to do that.
And I'd also like to say this, because for those of you who don't know, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. But
this isn't Ukraine versus Russia. And I think Russia is the bad guys and Ukraine are the good guys. No, this is really, it's a school shooter thing. Someone needs to talk me out of that.
And in 2005 or 6, when the SEALs embraced CrossFit, you have to also imagine, Greg has spoken to people who all over the governments, specifically in the military, in many, many countries, and has shit tons of contacts. So there's tons of shit. He's not even saying 1% of what he knows. And Greg and I haven't talked about this, so maybe after the call he's gonna be like, dude, don't say shit like that, but whatever. He knows a lot of shit that he's not telling us, and a lot of people are in contact with him, and you can only imagine, because of CrossFit, how many people he knows in the military who use fitness for survival. So there's that.
We were doing a bit with Bergner, and in his high school where he was teaching, and one of our SEAL friends got up and was telling a story, and he's like, "There's one time when we were in Syria, and one of the other SEALs is up in the corner, like, and this is like, wow, this would have been New York Times fucking shit at that point. This is me like, U.S. Army admitting being in Cambodia, right? Where everyone's denying we're not there." And it was hilarious. And we're like, okay, we got to play with this thing here. We need to do some editing. This can't go out like this. But Navy SEALs, there's one time in Syria.
Not a good place to start. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
My thing, I want to share this. I'm sorry to step on.
No, go ahead.
But it's funny because
always step on me.
I don't have inside knowledge, but I did this. I've never asked a question. I would think about it with these guys ahead of time, and I don't want to pry or push anything sensitive, and so I do nothing, and pretty soon you'll hear everything.
Yeah.
And these guys are taught to resist the pull, and if there's never a pull, pretty soon the guy stands up on camera, is telling about this one time in Syria.
Let me see. Happy to be here. We love you, Jake. Kenneth DeLapp, we love you, Sevan. I'm awake now. Yeah, his wife will do that to you, Greg's wife. Greg, wife cam, please. Fair enough. I agree. That'll be $2.99 for that. Eaton Beaver, good morning, coach. Jake, money always makes Sevi forgive. Jake, money always makes Sevi forgive. That you figured me out. Let's see.
By the way, at St. John the Baptist Cathedral, I've been with like a dozen Catholic churches in my life, maybe 2 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
They had so many confessionals active with guys that are working. I think that this John the Baptist guy might be like a hot one to release your sins to.
You saw the booths there? There were just shitloads of them?
Yeah. I peeked in, and the guy kind of opened the door, and I jumped back.
Are you glad you went on this trip? I know in the beginning I know you're you prefer to stay home even though you travel a lot. Are you glad at this point? Are you like, oh, this has been cool. I'm glad I'm doing it.
I never wanted to travel, and then my work took me everywhere, and I didn't, I didn't want to see the world, and I did, and I'm not better off for it. And so this was, I felt like I want to be like Marlon Brando in the tomato patch, watching the kid, in The Godfather, watching your kids play and tip over. But no, I'm going to be traveling. So,
but you didn't answer the
good.
question. Are you glad? Are you glad you embarked on the trip?
Yeah, I have to be. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like,
what a great answer. I have to be. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for recognizing that. I didn't know it was a great answer. It felt like a little bit of a cop out, but it is bottom line honest.
I have to be. And you come home soon, and then you go again.
Yeah. Hey, we're at Pompeii, and these people got buried in basically a volcanic ash that with water and time becomes cement. And so in the excavation, they step into these hollows and like, oh, so fuck, it's the shape of a dog. And so they started pouring plaster into them and then chiseling it away. And so we see these people in their death throes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And my kids are like, whoa, Dad, wait a minute. Like, is that's a guy? And I go, no, it's a plaster impression of a guy. It's like the footprint of a dinosaur.
Right.
And they're just fucking tripping.
I'm gonna bet you're not gonna go out for the second run.
Oh, no, I'm the Seychelles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I want to say,
listen to this.
I want to say you heard
out.
it here first. Don't get Maggie to hate me, but I'm gonna bet you don't go on that.
No. And I'd already canceled both these trips, and they got reignited because I was just not cutting it or something. But
oh my goodness,
we get back on October 20th,
mm-hmm.
and on the 24th, Riley's having oral surgery in Dallas.
On the 24th of what?
30th of October.
And you come back on what
4
day?
days later.
Oh shit!
So
what's she doing there? What's wrong with her mouth? She got a tooth or something?
She's got a permanent tooth that in the X-ray it's like upside down, inside out, and backwards. I mean, it's sitting on the jaw and it's threatening other teeth. She's got a beautiful smile and a perfect face, and everyone's scratching their heads. Jim and Katina, I hit them up and told them of the story, and he's a maxillofacial plastic surgeon. She's an anesthesiologist, and they got 6 kids and just super dear friends. And so she started asking around, and there are people you can find that will heroically get in there and glue a button to it and then pull the tooth up and make it erupt. But my read on the scenario is that these people are famous because 1 time in 10 this works.
Right.
And my number's up 9 times out of 10, it just kills the other permanent teeth. You get implants and they don't publish that shit.
Right.
And so they say the thing to do is yank it delicately and carefully and do everything you can to protect the primary, the baby tooth that's above it. Wait as long as you can, let the jaw fill, the other teeth come in, and then start moving teeth around and try and pretend like you weren't missing a tooth. And it's a canine, which is the bummer. It's the pointy.
That's one of these suckers?
Yeah, on the bottom though.
Oh, the vampire ones, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to take the more conservative approach and not do the heroic thing. And Katina is going to be the anesthesiologist. So I feel good about that. But when she hit me up with more options and explanation and discussion than anyone we've talked to has. And she said, if Riley were mine, and I just say, I'm done. That's it. You know, I'm going to go with that.
Dude, usually you have to ask that question. That's awesome. She came up with it. Usually you have to be like, what would you do if it was your daughter? Yeah. For people who don't know, Katina Thornton, the anesthesiologist, is also the Danielle Brandon whisperer. She was the one who stood by Danielle Brandon's side the entire CrossFit Games in 2000. I don't know what year it was when they were wondering if she had COVID or not. And Katina was awesome that she did that.
Here's another thing. She's been selected repeatedly to be presidential anesthesiologist. So that's important to me too, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Imagine that background check.
Yeah.
No, she knows her stuff, and so we're gonna go to Dallas. It's an easy flight. We're gonna be there, and the surgeon wants us there for a week in case there's complication. So we got a rental house. But I come back on the 31st, and we're bringing all the kids, all of them. And
to Texas? You're taking them all to Texas with Riley?
All because we're not going to see them for 2 weeks.
Because she can't fly.
They're not going with us. They're not going with us to the shows. It's just a mom and dad one.
Right, but why take your whole family to Dallas because she can't fly again? Why take your whole family to Texas because she can't fly once she has the surgery?
If we do that and leave the kids with Nani and Poppy, we won't have seen the kids for 3 weeks because we're going to be 2 weeks in the Seychelles, and I'm about that too. I don't want to miss them for 3 weeks either.
Yeah, totally. It just sucks for me because that means I'm only gonna. So are you gonna be here for a few days?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I was hoping you were gonna be here for weeks.
And on the 2nd, we're off again, and I come back on the 20th.
So are you gonna be in Dallas for 2 weeks, just at an Airbnb while she heals
1
up?
week. No. We get to Dallas on the 24th. We leave on the 31st. Drop the kids off at Nani and Poppy's. And then on the 2nd, we fly out of SFO heading towards Seychelles, and we're there until the 20th when I come back.
There's no way you're going to the Seychelles. Matt Burns.
You know what? Yeah, no, I am. It's done. I've already been past the point where I was like signed up and then said, "There's no way I'm going to go," and we canceled it, and I let it reignite.
Okay, I'm gonna bet Caleb $5 he doesn't go. You want the bet, Caleb?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I can't do it at this point. No, I'm going. I'm going to the Seychelles.
Greg,
when I come back with any luck, the world will be at war, and I won't have to travel ever again.
There you go. Get it out of the way.
Yeah. Maybe all the hot spots will be nuked.
Greg,
I'm going to jump back to another thing here.
Yeah.
If the worst thing that can happen is nuclear war in your mind, I think that's the mindset that guarantees nuclear war.
Explain. Help me walk me through that a little bit.
You have to be fucking. You think I'll live that way? I'll nuke your fucking ass. For the people that will be like, oh shit. See, I don't think Xi Jinping is insane, and I don't think Putin's insane. I think they're good chess players. And I think when they shake the nuclear chains, we get weird.
Yeah.
And out of that, with a half-baked bullshit system pretending to be capitalist, China's in economic ruin. It's failing. It's a crazy fucking collapse. And Russia's worse. But the fear of a nuclear exchange exposes us to something worse than being nuked, and that's their way of life. I'd rather my children be incinerated than live like that. You know what? Until you can say, give me liberty or give me death and fucking mean it, you're going to be a slave. That's just how that is. That's the chess. And the only thing they don't have a tape to play against is this guy would rather be dead than a slave.
I heard this lady yesterday, Greg, say that she
Caleb's
was so.
thinking, huh? You get it, Caleb?
Yeah, I like it.
I heard this lady say yesterday that she was against guns in the house, right? And so the guy asked her, "Hey, what if there were 3 guys that came into your house and they were threatening you and your family? Then would you wish you had a gun?" And she basically said, "No, I'd rather be killed than own a gun and have my kid be killed." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And you're saying kind of the same thing. You're saying that, but the
They're
opposite.
taking it. They want to hear. You have a
You-
live
you-
audience. That's can we?
You-
And if it's that
what?
cool, we're almost done anyways, right? Is
Who?
that
What?
cool?
Yeah. Is what cool? Are you talking to me?
Everyone wants to take out the earbuds. They want to hear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's got a butt in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Sorry.
continue. Oh.
Continue. Right.
So basically, there's or they could watch it on YouTube on their phone. So basically, what they're saying, did Rhett get a haircut?
No, are you talking about this one? That's Robbie.
No, the guy in the back. Isn't that Rhett in the green shirt back there?
No, he did his haircut.
He combs it funny.
Oh. Basically, she's saying she'd rather die. You're saying that you'd rather die than be a slave.
There's no gamble I wouldn't take to protect my children from no free speech, female genital mutilation, Sharia law, and I'm not even anti-Muslim. I mean, pick your terror, Nazis, whatever. Can you imagine a Jew that thinks that getting on the train was a good thing?
No, it's your point. No.
And until you feel and think that way, until not being free is a worst case scenario, you'll be a slave.
What do you think about this really quick? I know we're running out of time. The fact that Israel has stopped all supply to Gaza, I have trouble believing this, and Egypt has closed their borders. Where are they supposed to go? Swimming? Yeah, where are the Palestinians supposed to go?
They need to stay put, and when the Israelis knock on the door, you need to answer it and feed them. Let them look through your home and make sure you've got no. And when they're going to ask you who in the neighborhood's Hamas, you need to tell them it's come to that. We've been here before, over again. Think of the liberation of the French from the Germans. That was some crazy shit, man. People were wearing women's clothes and trying to get out, and people were pointing them out. There's one. Then grab them, rip the women's clothes off, blow his brains out. They're occupied. These are occupied people, a displaced people for sure. Occupied for sure. By what? By evil. Maybe I'm wrong and all of them think that way. Then kill them all. Yeah.
Right.
Kill them all. I don't. My belief is that it's 5%.
Yeah, I don't think. I think you're right too. I think it's a low number too. Matt Burns, Greg, what's the story with Rob Wolf? Was there a falling out with CrossFit? Love you guys.
You know, Dave Castro didn't like that I set in motion Rob's firing. I called him and tried to talk to him. He wouldn't return the call. Dale Sarin called him and he wouldn't return the call. His treatment and it was just always a problem. And I didn't care about the politics. I didn't care about the nutrition. What I cared about was the integrity of the community. And Rob had his own mission going. And he still does. He's a lone wolf. He wasn't building an organization. He's an influencer. He was an early influencer, right?
Right.
And I wasn't trying to be an influencer. I was trying to support people that were making a profound difference in the community. I was trying to set up a situation where someone like a Dale King would come along and do something beyond anything I could even imagine. That's what I was doing.
So Dave I never heard that rendition. Dave was actually trying to like protect Rob, and then they ended up having a falling out.
No, it was after the way he treated Dave, and someone brought me video and told me what happened. Now, Dave did call, what was Rob's sidekick, the lifter kid?
Oh, he called Greg
The guy that
Everett a
lifted
fat
the
fuck.
burner. He called him a fat fuck.
That was before it was not okay to call someone fat, though. Back then, it was still okay. I think it was the fuck part that now you can't do that.
I told Dave, you have the liberty of forgiving someone for treating you that way. As you, my employee, and Rob, my employee, I'm obligated to none of that.
But since then, you've kind of patched things up with him. You've talked to him. I mean, it's not like there's not like hate there between you and Rob, right?
Yeah, we talked, and while I was getting canceled, he dropped a line to let me know I had it coming.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, I want to tell you a really funny story. I don't know if I've ever told this story. So I didn't know. Basically, Dave and Rob had a beef. Let's just say that. And so Greg reaches out and offers an olive branch to Rob Wolf and says, "Hey, basically on me, come to the CrossFit Games in Carson, and blah blah blah." And so he opens the door up for Rob Wolf. Rob Wolf is eager, right? Because no one likes to be kicked out of the community. So he comes back. He shows up at the games, the biggest festivity of the year. He gets there a couple days ahead of time. He's hanging out with John Wellborn and his buddies like that, some other troublemakers and shit. And Dave finds out he's there. He sends Johnny Mac and some other people over, and they escort him out of there. So Greg invites him, and Dave kicks him out even before the event starts. Do you remember that shit?
I do. I forgot about it.
Oh my god. Dude, those are some of the best years of my life. Thank you, Greg. What a fun time.
Yep.
All right, dude. Well, thank you for everything.
Thank you. Caleb, good to see your pretty face, brother.
I have your app. I have your new Apple Watch here, by the way, at my house, and your new phone should be arriving any day.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that so you make sure that you come here. At least stop for a day so I can see you.
Fire it up and fix what you can on the. They're having trouble,
I'm not firing it up. I want you to come. So, you're going to be here for at least a couple days? You'll land in San Francisco before you take off to Dallas. Okay, good.
Oh, I've told Mark Bell I'd do his podcast.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Are you going to go to Sacramento and do it live?
He was willing to come to me.
Okay.
And
well, let me know how I can help set up mics or whatever.
Come with me.
Oh, I will go to Sacramento with you. If you're going to drive out there, I'll go with you.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm on the. I know the answer to this. Okay, I'm coming. We're done here.
I tell my wife that all the time.
The 22nd?
Yeah, that's Sunday. That's a perfect day for me. Perfect.
I think that's right. The 22nd. Will you come with me?
Yeah, Sunday, October.
We'll drive
22nd.
there, leave at 7 a.m. and come back immediately thereafter.
Straight to Cilantro's.
Yes.
Good. All right. All right, dude. Love you. Tell your wife thanks for
Caleb,
making
Sevi. Yeah, and all those that care about hearing people that don't know what they're talking about things. You know.
Thanks for tuning in.
Things you don't know about, you talk about from the only perspective you have, which is basically one of principles, right?
Oh, I like that. Yep, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, love you. Bye.
See you, Greg.
Greg Glassman. Dude, that was crazy. I was like, oh shit. Greg invited this dude here, and Dave is sending people over to boot his ass. I was like, this is gonna be crazy. That's
Did
how
he
much
ever come
Dave.
back?
No.
Just see ya.
No. No, Dave had him kicked out of the games before the games even started. But just imagine like how confusing that must have been for Rob.
Yeah, right. It's like I thought you guys wanted me here.
And then all of a sudden the fucking security rolls up on him and they're like, dude, you're not wanted here. Beat it. Fuck. I was dying. I was like, wow.
That sucks.
I didn't know Rob at all. I mean, I heard him speak a handful of times at like CrossFit events and like, you know, like he presented great. He whenever he spoke, I always enjoyed his talks. I didn't know him at all, but for the MBPP fund.
Isn't it like Mark Bell something fund?
Oh,
Mark Bell something.
Hey, it's so weird watching the numbers when we do the show now because YouTube has us throttled. It's so weird how they flop around and how our live shows have the most viewers than ever, but then the shows have, it's just something's weird is going on. The infamous black box incident, yeah. I think they, Greg Everett or someone put up a picture of Annie Sakamoto doing a med ball clean and then was critical of it. And then Dave just fucking screamed at him, you fat fuck. Seal talk. Seal talk. We were just young boys back then. That show went great.
Yeah, that was good.
That show went great. Oh shit. Sorry, just saw this. Just saw this. Greg was asking for a link. Oh shit. I sent him a link to the wrong. Oh, did I send him a link to the wrong phone number? Oh, this is so cool. Maggie sent me a video of Greg doing the podcast, but from outside. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. From outside, from the deck of their Airbnb. And
Yeah.
and it's over. They are on that cliff.
Oh, that's amazing.
Overlooking the ocean. Yeah, it's so cool. That's rad.
What a cool experience.
Yeah, nuts. I got some notes from some people who are like who I'm assuming are Palestinian, and they're like, "Hey dude, love you, don't be a fucking idiot and side with the Jews." And I'm like, "Hey dude, I don't know if I'm taking a side or not, but you can't have stuff flying around on social media showing a bunch of young men going into homes killing women and children and not think that there's going to be like a crazy wave of emotionally charged people wanting those people toast, wiped off the planet. Like no one wants to be with those people. It's like coming home. Go ahead.
As soon as you start doing that, you look like the bad guys. You start broadcasting. As soon as you
Oh,
start
right.
broadcasting your
Yeah.
beheadings and your executions and your
Yeah.
ratings, and as soon as you start broadcasting that stuff, you're the bad guys. It's that simple. I mean, I guess you can't really. I know they've been doing it in Ukraine and Russia, like between the two of them, they've been posting a lot of the videos of what's been going on there. But like, I would imagine. I mean, semantics, I guess, but that's like a full blown war. But when you're looking at it from like somebody, you're taking 1,000 people and you're invading a country, and you're broadcasting civilian deaths. That's a problem. You're already the bad guy that way.
Yeah, you're in trouble. OnlyFans star Mia Khalifa celebrates Israeli attacks, urges Hamas to film horizontal on phones. The adult whore turned OnlyFans star, who has long called Israel in the part. By whore, I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I just mean it like she took money for. She sat on penis. She did stuff with penises for money. sexual stuff.
Yes.
She made penises fire off for money. She was in film. She was filmed with ejaculating penises.
Massive ejaculating penises.
Who has long called Israel an apartheid state, drew ire after posting a series of controversial tweets in Saturday's surprise attack, which has claimed the lives of at least 800 people. If you can look at the situation in Palestine and not be on the side of Palestinians, then you're on the wrong side of apartheid, and history will show that in time. Can someone please tell freedom fighters in Palestine to flip their phones and film horizontal? Whew.
Jeez.
Are her boobs real?
Yeah, I think so.
Her whole thing is like she made like $1,000, but had to fuck like 500 dudes, right? Like she was like one of those chicks in the porn industry who was like taken advantage of.
I think they all are, but yeah, she was definitely one of them.
They're all taken advantage of.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her images. She's Palestinian. Oh shit! Playboy fired her. She was working for Playboy. Zero tolerance for hate speech. Oh, I hate that term, hate speech. Playboy fires ex-porn star Mia Khalifa for supporting Hamas terrorists. Deletes her channel from app.
Just kidding. Everybody's saying her boobs are fake.
Oh,
They look too bouncy though.
I don't
Too
think
much
anyone.
movement.
Yeah. And then Playboy writes, Playboy's always been a champion of free speech. Well, not really. Not if we have fought in the courts for the rights of all people speak. No, you haven't. Not if you're canceling her for saying that. We also have no place in our company nor our platform for speech that is hateful or dehumanizing. Well, just say that for our platform. I mean, they can publish whatever they want, right? Can you discriminate against someone? So you can't discriminate for someone if they're a pedophile, but you can discriminate for hate speech? Like you can fire someone if they say that I hate Jews? What if you said I hate Marines? What if you said I hate guys in the Air Force?
I don't think
That's
you get
like-
fired for that. You can definitely say, what was the first one you said?
Any like just
Any,
say
like,
I hate
race?
it. I hate guys in the Air Force. I hate black dudes. I hate Jews. Like when does it become hate speech? I hate people who ride BMX bikes. I think
if it's based on race, then you get fired.
Yeah, then it can be. Marine is not
Yeah.
a protected class. Yeah, that's why you can't have any of that. For anyone who thinks that there should be a law against hate speech, I mean this with peace and love. You are a fucking moron, and I don't mean it because you disagree with me. I mean because you're not thinking clearly. You don't know how to think clearly. The problem is no one knows why the Palestinians did this in their relationship with the Saudis and Israel deal that was excluding them. This was to stop that. As you can see, the Saudis sided with Hamas. Well, I think you're conflating Palestinians and Hamas, by the way. Maybe rewrite that or something.
I'd also like to know why, like you said, why nobody knows why. Then what do you think why they did it? Is it because of that? Because they were excluded? Or is it something else?
Maybe to stop the deal, basically to stop the deal. There was going to be a peace deal with the Saudis and the Israelis, and this was just a move to stop that. Dude, man, it was pretty amazing to fire that many rockets. It seems like it's been a long time coming. Leaves changing color, Beaver?
Yeah, a little bit. Mostly falling first. They haven't really changed yet.
5D chess is being played, and the globalists have some big moves coming. What Cardi B what does she do on OnlyFans?
Shit, I don't
know. Matt Burns, Muslim extremists can't have peace. How about liberal extremists? Can they have peace? Man, that's crazy. That fuck the Jews chant and gas the Jews. That shit is crazy. That causes you to recalibrate. Like crossing the street because you see a fucking 4 black dudes walking towards you is totally different than gas the Jews. They're not even in the like. They're not even in the. Oh my God. And I didn't mean 4 black dudes. I meant 4 black dudes with their pants sagging and being in men, not girls, and they're 18 years old. And that's what I meant. They have other signs besides their skin color. And if you're not scared of black dudes, add Mexicans or Armenians or whatever you want. Just 4 guys walking with their pants sagging. I don't care what you choose.
My HVAC guy came the other day and his pants were sagging. I should have walked to the other side of the room.
Different. Different. Did you see his butt crack?
No. It was close though. If he would have leaned over like 1 more inch, it would have been.
I've told you guys this before, and I can't even. But I didn't know it like this. This is kind of amazing that this is in the Washington Post. For anyone who isn't familiar with the Washington Post, it is just a straight propaganda machine. It says the worst things. It is a huge proponent of pushing it's a race baiting newspaper. It's nuts. It's like triple mask everyone, injections for babies. It is the worst. It's basically just a pawn of pharma and I don't know, as Tank would say, globalist. I don't even know what that word means, but that. It's a complete tool for manipulating sheep. And I've talked to you guys before about lobotomies and about how they were. Oh, can I not scroll this? Oh, that sucks. I could scroll this on my phone. I just can't in my. Oh. Lobotomies used to be legal. So lobotomies in the 30s and 40s are what chopping off penises and tits are today, right? So it's basically you have a psychiatric condition, and instead of like dealing with it, with like long walks and change of diet and therapy and maybe meditation, they would just fucking cut open the front of your brain and take a butter knife and mush it, and it's called a lobotomy. Treatments for severe mental illness were limited, and the leucotomy offered so much hope in 1949. Moniz was awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. The procedure, commonly known as a lobotomy, held lofty promise for some families, including that of future President John F. Kennedy. They fucking destroyed John F. Kennedy's sister. It was so fucking sad. That is, if you want to read the wiki page on Rosemary, you will have your heart broken. They gave her a lobotomy and completely destroyed her. It did not. After the surgery, the 23-year-old Rosemary Kennedy could not walk or speak. It erased years of emotional, physical, and intellectual development. Oh, dude, it's a crazy story. Anyway, it's illegal now because there is no physical surgery that you should do on someone for fucking being a tard. Like, Sporty Beth does not need a surgery. She needs to go on a long walk. She needs new friends, and she needs to change her diet. There's a cure for her that doesn't involve cutting open her forehead and mushing it with a knife. There's a cure for these fucking people besides shocking them. And this thing that we're in 2023 and they're chopping off people's penises in order to fucking fix their mental disorder is not cool. And we're going to look back at it the same way we look back at lobotomies and be like, how the fuck? Well, that guy won the Nobel Prize. Think of all the people who are like, well, oh, you're going to listen to some internet Karen over some doctor from MIT? Yes. A bunch of PhDs nominated that dude to win the Nobel Prize for cutting off people's foreheads and mushing the front of their brain with a butter knife. And now, this year, just now, the Nobel Prize was given to the 2 people who developed the mRNA vaccine injection. It's bizarro world. Kenneth DeLapp, Obama won a Nobel Prize. Yeah, he won the Peace Prize, which is just crazy. How did Trump not win that? Hey, that just goes to the Nobel Prize has nothing to do with your actions. It's just what you speak, right? Trump spoke with force. We lived in peace. Biden spoke with Obama spoke with peace. We lived in war. He wins the prize. I mean, that's who we live with. People who would just believe anything. Tank Reeves, Sevi, book me for a podcast. Then I can prepare and we can have a chat. I'm too scared to talk to you, I think. You're going to open up some door in my brain. I'm never going to be able to close it again. Nobel Prize for the lobotomy. You're really going to like this one. You guys ready for this? Sorry, Caleb, I'm taking your job today.
Sorry.
This is 175. What a joke this is. This is nuts. Okay, buried a 2007 video of Senator Joe Biden discussing troops removal from Afghanistan. Quote, and you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind. I promise they're going to be used against your grandchildren and mine someday. And what he's referencing is that now people are claiming that those weapons that we left behind in Afghanistan are now being seen, being used by Hamas. Listen up, people. This is from 2007.
Difference to tell the American people the truth about what our options are in ending this war. If tomorrow the order goes out from I'm President of the United States, I issue an order, end the war today, begin to withdraw all American troops. It will take a year to get the American troops out. Do you hear me now? That's the truth. It will take a year to get them physically out. Now, if you leave all the equipment behind, you might be able to do it in 7 months. And you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind, I promise they're going to be used against your grandchild and mine someday. And you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind, I promise they're going to be used against your grandchild and mine someday.
Who left billions of dollars of weapons behind? Joe did. So he knew. So he's saying he knew.
Of course he did. Like, everybody knows that. What do you think's going to happen? As soon as you leave, it's so much, everything, all of that is so valuable. I mean, it was valuable to us, and we decided to leave it in a week. We're like, oh, gotta go. Joe Biden said so. I think it's funny that he said it was going to take 7 months, even if we left everything behind. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's such an idiot.
How are our loved ones voting for that guy?
Shit, I don't know.
Do you have loved ones who would vote for this guy?
For sure.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know, man.
I was making so much fucking money, and the New York Times wrote an article about me that mischaracterized me at best. I wish I can remember this stupid bitch's name who wrote it. Fuck. What's her name? Catherine Rossman. Wow, Sevi, you're a beast. You are a beast. Catherine or Kathleen? I'm going with Catherine. Catherine Rossman.
Catherine Rossman.
Yes, Catherine Rossman. This fucking loser fucking wrote an article about me right here. Not about me, about CrossFit. And there was she was nice enough to include a paragraph about me. This fucking skank. This is the one I showed you the other day. It looks like her son's transitioning.
Oh, awesome.
And I have family members who still send me articles from the New York Times like I give a fuck. Like it all does is piss me off. Like, you give money to the New York Times when they fucked me? It's crazy. But it's completely over their head. They don't even know. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're bad. My relatives aren't bad people. They just don't even think. Oh, I'm sorry you lost your job. Have you seen it's so great what's going on and blah blah blah. So sweet. Oh, isn't that great? 50 judges said that, Sevan, you need to look into that. 50 judges have signed paperwork saying that the election wasn't tampered with. Oh,
Really?
what about the laptop? Oh, what about the Russian collusion, Hillary? What about the 50 top security advisors who said that the laptop was a fake, and now they're being tried in court. They're all being sued, saying that we know they lied on purpose. Do you think that has anything to do with election fraud?
No.
What about my friend Athena Perez, who went and testified that there was election fraud? She witnessed election fraud. Fucking nuts. No, that bitch ain't single. She got some fucking beta. That's okay. I'm climbing another tree right now that's bigger. Catherine Rossman. Catherine Rossman. Oh, I want to see. Let's see what
She posted on her Instagram that she's thankful to be an American Jew.
as opposed to being a Palestinian
Jew?
Yeah, Palestinian. What? Like, yeah. I'm looking at all the articles she's written. She just writes garbage. Ho ass bitch. I wish I was a rapper so I could rap a song about her. Sevi, did you connect with Ryan? No. Did he text me? I have so many texts. My phone is a fucking train wreck. Bear with me. From Jerusalem, we can hear the rockets and bombs when we talk. It's so scary. Yeah, it sounds like that there's a lot of Jews who've been displaced too. Damn. War doesn't sound fun. I hope it doesn't ever come here. Crazy beta. She's married to Judy. Catherine Rossman is married to a crazy beta. Crazy. Like, douche nozzle. Joe Biden. So he left the guns behind knowing that they would be used against people's grandkids. I couldn't date someone in California. Right. Bang anything with a set of tits. Oh, shit. This one's crazy. Brace yourself, people. This is Norm Macdonald hosting the ESPYs in 1998. Some of you aren't going to get this joke because you don't know about OJ. Like, this one's going to go right over Beaver's head. Beaver ain't getting this one. How old are you, Caleb?
28.
Nope, not getting this joke. Maybe I'll play it twice and you can pretend to get it.
All right.
Look at you. You're like, fuck you, I'm getting it. Here we go.
Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and waiter, in which case, all bets are off. Just a word of advice. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and waiter, in which case...
Damn, dude.
All bets are off. It's a word of advice.
Damn.
That's awesome.
That's like the theme of this show is going nuclear. That's like pretty much going nuclear in the joke realm, right? At the ESPYs even. It's
Yeah.
it's about as hard as you can go.
Just call him out on live TV.
Yeah. It's like it's not racist, just like saying that Chinese people eat rice isn't racist, but people were like, for some reason that feels weird. That feels weird.
Should I be laughing at this?
Yeah. Do Chinese people, is that offensive? I was in college when he was acquitted. That's how old I am. I remember being in college and just sitting in front of the TV and watching him driving the Bronco for hours. Every TV station had it on. It was awesome. He didn't lose the Heisman like that. I don't think they didn't take it. Cave Dastro, I agree with you. I don't think they should lose a Heisman for actions not related to sports. I don't think he lost it like that. I mean, I think like he had to sell it or something to pay for his court fees. I don't think like they like in hindsight took it from him. No, even if they took drugs, I'm okay. I'm just gonna go with if you want it, you want it. But I think that the trophy, like a Simpsons Heisman, was in his possession until he was auctioned off. Yeah, he was forced to sell his belongings to pay $33 million in compensatory and punitive damages after losing a 1997 wrongful death civil suit. So he lost the civil case. I wonder how much the Nelk Boys paid to interview him. He did an interview with him recently. I was so naive. I remember them showing like a room full of people, the melanated people, and when he was found not guilty and they were cheering, and I was like, wow, those people really think he's not guilty? Wow. I just remember just being so just like, God, life was good back then. I loved being that naive. Bob Menery claims the Nelk Boys paid O.J. Simpson $100,000 to be on the Full Send podcast. Yeah, for sure. Something. I mean, I'm not mad at them for that.
It's probably worth it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Zach. Mr. Matosian asked her if she was sexually active with her husband and if she took birth control pills. He told her he preferred a bathing suit photo. I know. What kind? Yeah, that's how that... Dude, that's exactly how that's written.
I think he copy-pasted it. Because I was just reading it, too.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Can you imagine like there was some sort of... Mr. Matosian asked her if she was sexually active with her husband and if she took birth control pills. By the way, then she responded with... Yeah, and I wish I wouldn't have been because when I got off the pills, my performance got better, and all the other girls I spoke with said that they had performance boosts, significant performance boosts when they got off of hormones too. Like that's kind of an important part. And how about the fact that she sold at the time photos of her butt on a fucking website, and that was the context of talking about her bathing suit. She sold pictures of her butt in a fucking in booty shorts. God, Kathleen Rossman is such a fucking cunt. What a fucking world-class bitch. Never called me. I mean, how does that even... Mr. Matosian asked her if she was sexually active with her husband and if she took birth control pills. He told her he preferred a bathing suit. Then they went on and ate a bologna sandwich together. Her dog's name is George. She cuts her toenails with clippers that she got from CVS. Her favorite color is blue. Sometimes she dances to rap music. I mean, what... Who pays for butt photos? It was a different time back then. It was a different... Butt photos were... Go to her. I was never into this, but there was a couple people at CrossFit that were there. She was always marketing her butt, as I recall. That was like her thing. I think she sold butt photos, and I never looked into it too much. But recently, look at this photo she recently posted. Someone sent this to me. I don't even know. I mean, can you imagine? I like Stacey. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not. This isn't digging but what would be the point of that photo?
But
I mean, it's an incredible photo. But like, I said that she looked. By the way, that bathing suit looks great on her. She's tan as shit. Cave Dastro, if I had an ass that nice, I would sell it too. But for somehow to like, she's trying to paint me. And then by the way, that's the sentence right there. That's the wonderful, there was a few more sentences that Eric Rosa said to someone, hey, that guy needs to resign. Zach, your body is freakishly amazing, he said, lamenting changes brought about by the Me Too movement. Yeah. Crazy juxtaposition. That was the time that the NYU professor and actor, I forget his name, you guys all know him. He was really famous like 5 or 10 years ago. He was in Spider-Man. He was in a movie. He was in his girlfriend came out and Me Too'd him. A girlfriend of 2 years. Girlfriend of 2 years said that he asked her for a blowjob, and she felt like she had to because he was famous. They had been dating for 2 years. Now, granted, in hindsight, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking bringing that up on the CrossFit podcast. God, I must have thought I was the unstoppable fucking king shit over there to do that. I did. I don't know if I asked her like if she was sexually active. Like, I don't think I asked it like that, but I said something about like, hey, I mean, it wasn't anything perverse. I wasn't like, please tell me about what's the first move your husband does with your vagina. It wasn't like that. It was strictly from the athletic performance perspective. 100%. It was like so obvious that's where I was going. Hey, dude, Danielle Brandon was either on my podcast or I heard her on another podcast, but I think it was on my podcast. She was talking about her performance. We were talking about antibiotics adversely affecting it. By the way, which they will. And every girl knows it now, and it's not taboo to talk about at all. Meanwhile, the same year, ESPN asked fucking Catherine David's daughter to pose naked, and for some reason, because it's ESPN, it's okay. Like, what was I like? I was never like, oh, Stacey, can you please take your shirt off in the podcast studio? It's fucking nut. Mr. Hartle, she's living rent free in your head, Sevi. Forget her. This show is probably going to make me $600, and you are a horrible business advisor by telling me that she's living rent free, because she's not. I'm going to make $600 off this show, and if I forgot her, I might not be able to reuse this material in a year. So please take your business advice and run with it to some kid's lemonade stand, which is about the quality of business advice you give. Thank you. Eventually, this story's going to be worth $6,000 an episode. You jackass. You're not Armenian. It's a fucking disappointment to my people everywhere. Her ass is better now than it was then. I think she may have gone woke, though. I know she did. She said she's another one of those people that eventually turned on the podcast, turned on me. Sucks. I like her. I like her husband.
I go to another gym, and I have to drive by her gym to go to the gym I go to.
Yeah, she's a sellout, unfortunately. Yeah, dump truck hottie for sure. Oh, that last part was okay. Fine. Okay, fine. You can come back to the tribe. You're Armenian. I apologize. Zach, to get you over to 600. Yeah, baby. If all of you only gave $3, I could reach my $600 today and I could get off the show. Philip Kelly, she's fake like a lot of the folks at HQ, cucks. It just, I posted, I had a dear friend bragging to me about how no one knows their stance on woke ideology. And this friend of mine was kind of like bragging to me like it was something like they were proud of because I've hit it and I'm only going to come out and stand up against it when I'm supposed to. And I'm like, what? I need to talk to this friend again and be like, dude, you sound like a bitch when you say that. I'm not like, oh, you're so sophisticated and strategic. You seen this? I'm gonna try to get this guy on the show. Blind Joe. Did you see this post I made? I know we're gonna get in trouble for this for sure. Here we go.
Will not comply. Quit trying to take me to task, cause I don't want to wear a mask or take a vaccine that could maybe make me die. They got no scientific evidence to back that crap up. All they do is feed us lie after lie. That's why I will not comply.
Maybe it's a little harsh to say she's woke. I know she wanted to distance herself from, she wants nothing to do with me. And so maybe my feelings are just hurt. I mean, like nothing. Like I think they threw a competition at her gym, and like if you were wearing a CEO shirt, you had to take it off, like that kind of shit. Because I'm close with HQ. Asymmetric Ears, get Anomaly on the show. He's supposed to come on soon. Maybe I should get him and Tank on at the same time, and they can talk, and I can just sit back and just be like, whew, and get drunk. He's supposed to come on very soon. This is a cool song, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Since back last March, I've had an achy, breaky heart like old Billy Ray Cyrus.
So this guy's blind?
He's got the glasses, so he must be.
Been catching a case of the blues from the news around this damn coronavirus. Now they're telling us we gotta keep our chin diapers up, even if
chin diapers. Got to keep our chin diapers up.
we got the shot in the arm. Nobody's talking about exercise or eating food that's fresh grown from the farm.
How's that? He does it. He drops the big bomb. That, by the way, that's the thing right there too. That's the there's that's the thing right there. Those are the two main things, right? You need 4 comorbidities or more to really be in danger, and you have to be over 50 years old, but probably over 80. That's the big one. And then the other big one is that there was never any advice for the real, for I can't even say it because I'm getting in trouble. That's why we got suspended for a week before. But just remember, there was no mention of dietary or lifestyle changes. Those 2 things alone just make you just go, oh, and the Nobel Prize was won for the lobotomy. Mr. Souza! Mystery solved on why YouTube throttles us back. I said Stacey Tovar's ass was nice. I was being positive. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? She went full thirsty after she retired. She was thirsty before. She was selling the butt photos before. She's cool. I'm cool with her. It just sucks that she sold out and fell to that pressure. Too many of you doing that. Hey, and here's another reason why in the short term, like you might think it's smart to do that, but in the long term, it won't. It won't be. It's not the long game. Johnny Nostradamus, Johnny Damus. Rumble is in our near future. God, I hope not. That platform sucks. Jay Hartle, I don't think you're right. You're saying Kristen Abbott has an OnlyFans. You know what I think she has, dude? I think she has like a Christmas fans. I think she has her own platform that she runs. Like she's the pimp. I should ask her to come on. Vindicate. The problem is with Stovar, she didn't stand up for you. Yeah, but she didn't bury me. She didn't jump on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? I don't expect her to stand up for me. But she didn't bury me. She wasn't like, yeah, he was a scumbag when I was on the show. And she's come on to my shows a bunch of other times. It's just more recently, it's gotten back to me, some of the shit she's said, and it's like, dude, why are you doing that? Why are you acting woke? You don't need to do that. It's like she's playing some political game. It's like, don't do that. Just be cool. Anyway, and I do like I think it's important. Who was I chatting with this yesterday? If you're an athlete, male or female, I think you lead with your ability. What were the four? These were the four things that Chris Rock says you can do to be famous. You could be show your ass. You can be infamous. That's like make a sex tape. The third thing, you could be really talented. So show your ass would be Playboy model, right? Mia Khalifa, right? Infamous sex tape would be Paris Hilton. I might be showing my age, or a Kardashian. Then the third one, super successful, would be Serena Williams or Federer or Joe Montana. And then the fourth thing is to play the victim, right? That's Jesse Smollett or everything that's on CNN, or the Nike guy with the fro that claims he's black. Josh Kavanaugh. What the fuck's that guy's name? Kaepernick. Right? So those are the four things. Sevan can dish it, but gets sensitive when it's his turn to take it. Imagine this. Imagine how fucking stupid Dan is. I purposely pull the comments up that make it so I'm vulnerable, and then do a little song and dance and pretend to be offended with some drama and some comedy. But then he says I can dish it, but I can't take it, when I'm the one choosing the comments. You fucking moron. I've been thinking about this the last like 20 times I've been on the show, and then I forget to write it down, about how stupid you are that you don't realize you're being played. And even though I just said it, you still won't. You'll still throw me pitches that I can alley-oop and dunk and feign humility and kindness. So I appreciate it. And I thank you very much. But fuck, you're dumb. 6.5. I bet. That's my earthquake sound. Sounds more like a vibrating pillow. Dan Guerrero, this is an example of not being able to take it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So if you're an athlete and you lead with, if you want to be a respected athlete and you lead with your ass or your body or your pussy or your titties instead of your physical prowess, then you should expect to be treated as such. You think that's a purr? I meant it. Okay, I meant it as Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Daniel Garrity. It always freaks me out when Sevan pulls up Dan Guerrero's comments. Our names sound too familiar at first, but we're both classified as assholes, so I guess it doesn't matter. You're more a thorn in the side, Mr. Garrity. Mr. Garrity. Dan's an entire fucking cactus. If Dan were a weed, I would be like, fuck, maybe I should just use chemicals and spray it so it goes away forever. Yeah, why are you leading with your ass if you want to be a great athlete? Why? Why are you leading with your ass? I'm okay with Stacy doing it. She's kind of a retired athlete. I think she has balance, some balance. But dude, some of these athletes, it's like, dude, like you're leading with you're basically making yourself look like a porn star first and then an athlete. And it's like, I don't know. I think it kind of takes away from it would be like putting the frosting on the bottom of the cake. The weight of the cake would just push it out to the sides. It becomes pointless at that time. I think it's way cooler that like, I think Serena Williams is a fucking incredible piece of ass. But if she didn't play, I don't want her to lead with that. I like her because same with Oprah. I think Oprah's a fucking amazing piece of ass, but I like her because she's a billionaire first. If she just led with a piece of ass, I think she's disgusting. You know, you feeling me on that, Caleb? I'm not saying you have to agree with me, but you understand the logic.
It's a little trashy. I want to know you as a person before I know you as a piece of ass.
Well, yeah, and I'm just not attracted to Oprah if she's poor.
Oh.
Because she's a billionaire and she got size quadruple Z titties. I'm like, okay, let's take you for a spin. Look at, I knew Kristen. Yeah, what? And so my point being is if you're a crazy attractive woman or man and you're leading with the ass, when you're an equally amazing athlete, I think it's dumb. Adam Blakesley, I think that's why Raptus is hotter than Danielle Brandon. I don't see any I mean, fuck, Alexis is hot as shit, but I don't see her leading with any ass. But I don't think Danielle goes too far off one end. Do you? I don't think she's like.
No, definitely not. She doesn't. It's not like a point.
I don't get that from Danielle at all. Yeah.
I think you're projecting.
John Wick, Taylor Swift has no ass, but she's a billionaire. Yeah, no ass is no good. Lead with the hog. Daniel Garrity, Mr. Guerrero, I have to get on a plane. Please continue being a little cunt. Sincerely, Daniel Garrity. Big gap between Danielle and Spiegel. Yeah, totally. I mean, like, thank you, Mr. Pedro. Okay, let's go over to Danielle Brandon's Instagram account. What the fuck's going on over there? I don't agree with you guys. I get no hoe from Danielle. I get no like not that I get hoe from any of these chicks. That was a mischaracterization. I don't get, she's not like just, it's not just about, oh, well, there you go. Click on that one of her sunbathing. I don't know. I'm okay with that. I don't think that that's it's not, look, it's far away. It's not scandalous. You have to make the effort to zoom in. You have to pinch that and pull it open in order to be a perv. Yeah. And that's for an ad too. That's to draw attention, exposure. So that's the only one. That's just one. That's the only one I've seen so far. One out of the last 12. Okay, and there's another one. That's two. Maybe. The bathing suit one. Yeah, I don't see Danielle. Danielle's not doing hoochie mama shit at all.
No.
God damn, she's hot. I don't know. I'd like her. I'd change the stat. If I was president, I would change the Statue of Liberty to look like her.
That's what you would do.
We don't have the funds to deal with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I'm going to build a statue off and I'm putting off the coast of California somewhere. Olivia, Danielle did show a video of a guy having a hard-on for her. What's that about?
Oh, that was the video you played it. You said it made you uncomfortable. It's the British guy. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Sam Cornforth?
Yeah, I didn't like that video at all.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. It's times like that I'm like, maybe I'm old. Maybe it happened. Yeah, the makeup and the lips and all that, I'm not a fan either. But whatever, I'm not a fan in the eyebrows, and I just want to see her natural, all natural. But I accept her. I accept her. John Wick, that dude's weird as fuck. The Cornway dude, not Samuel Cornway, but the cornhole dude. Yeah.
Sam
Oh yeah, that
Cornforth.
dude. Yeah. I don't like that outfit she's wearing right there either.
Why?
I don't want to say why,
Okay.
but thank you for asking. Do you like it?
I like for whatever I like long sleeves like that.
Yeah, her arms look great. I
Yeah.
agree. I like that too.
Anyway.
Oh man, this is a good place to hide this because I really don't want to celebrate this, but this is so fucking. Dude. Travis Kelce's a fucking genius, dude.
Really?
And so's Pfizer. Yep, they're fucking smart. Look at 173. These fucking guys leaned into the Mr. Pfizer joke. Pfizer made him a fucking jersey that says Mr. Pfizer.
Wow.
Minneapolis welcomes Travis Kelce with Mr. Pfizer billboards.
They're learning.
Dude. You can't. The sport. You want to know what the biggest problem with our sport is? That we fucking have athletes that don't know how to lean into shit. I thought it was the affiliate. We need more support from the affiliates. We need more affiliates and more CrossFitters. Dude, this is fucking genius. Okay, I'm Mr. Pfizer. Give me the Mr. Pfizer jersey. Yeah, I stand by it 1,000% fully comfortable with him calling me Mr. Pfizer. And then he fucking puts on the fucking Pfizer, Mr. Pfizer jersey, and they got Mr. Pfizer billboards everywhere. Dude, that's just leaning in. Just killed it. Okay, fine. So I am. John Wick, Kelce don't give a fuck. I think he's just stupid, but maybe he doesn't give a fuck. I just think he's dumb. And dumb's cool. I used to be dumb. D-U-M, dumb. Yeah, they fuck. Just leaning into it.
That's
Just leaning into it. So smart. I had no idea that they were that smart. None. Which kind of makes me stupid. Okay, one more. Okay, we'll finish with something racist. Here we go. One, Mr. Blood Clot. Okay, that's good. Yeah, let's see him lean into that. I agree. Let's call him that, Mr. Blood Clot. I like it. Let's see him lean into that. 169. Let's finish with, first of all, this guy, when you pull this up, don't start playing it right away. I want to ask you what ethnicity this guy is. Because he's claiming one ethnicity and I do not see it. What do you think he is? I'll give you choices: black, white, Hispanic, or Asian.
Asian.
Yeah, me too. That's what I would say. Okay, but listen what he's kind of claiming here. This is, by the way, this isn't for this one really is racist. This isn't a joke.
I could never be gay, dude. Not because what you're thinking, just because it's disgusting. But if you just, I'm kidding. You can do what you want. Have fun in hell. But if you just, I didn't write the Bible. What do you want from me, dude? But if you just, I need like this, man. People are homophobic. So if you I could never be gay.
Is he claiming he's Hispanic?
I don't know. I think he said he's in. It said he's in Miami, and I think there's a lot of Hispanic people in Miami. So maybe he's just playing to the crowd. I think he said I knew Hispanic people would like that. I think.
Oh, okay.
He didn't even finish the joke. That's the funny part.
He's a good dude. About 170. We're not ending the show anytime soon. Although I do have to pee. Okay, this is the last one. 170. Here we go. God, this guy is a douche.
Yeah, whose 15-year-old daughter was raped in a bathroom by a boy wearing girls' clothes. And the Loudoun County School Board covered it up because it would have interfered with their transgendered policy during Pride Month. And that man, Scott Smith, because he went to a school board and tried to defend his daughter's rights, was condemned internationally. Do you apologize to Scott Smith and his 15-year-old daughter, Judge?
Senator, anyone whose child was raped is the most horrific crime I can imagine, and is certainly entitled and protected by the First Amendment to protest to their school board about that.
But he was cited by the School Board Association
That's fine,
as a
but that's
domestic
not-
terrorist. Judge, this is shameful. Your performance is shameful. Thank God you are not on the Supreme Court. You should resign in disgrace, Judge. Scott Smith.
You guys remember that story too, right? It's worse than you can even imagine. The boy was pretending to be a girl. He's clearly a fucking psychopath. He fucking assaulted one girl in the bathroom at one school. They transferred him to another school where he raped a fucking girl in the bathroom. And then the dad went to the school board to protest, and they fucking arrested him. It's a horrible, horrible story. And yeah, and all the censorship, like censoring the word raped, is crazy. Makes me fucking hate the people we live with. He sounds like my 75-year-old aunt. Yeah, Loudoun County. All right, guys. On that note, wait, should we leave us something positive? Let me see, what's this? Oh yeah, let's. This is a good one. I'll just read this one out loud. It's 174. Here we go. This is from James Woods. America is not divided by race, color, gender, or sexual orientation. America is divided into the wise people and fools divide themselves by race, color, gender, or sexual orientation. Damn, that one's good. All right. See you guys. What's today? What's today? Oh, do I have a show tonight? No. Oh. No. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 7 a.m. Bye-bye.